great place to find yourself on a Tuesday afternoon, where love abounds. That's my statement. And I can stick with that one, And I think it's the best choice you could have made, I always say. But I want to thank you for making the sacrifice. It's really a sacrifice for some people, because I know they got to be watching the time. Can't wait for 2 o'clock. They got to move. But I appreciate the sacrifice. And we flip it right over to Felia. Time to go.
Okay. Yes, can everyone close their eyes as we say the Rotary grace? And loud. Bless us, most gracious Lord, from whom all goodness springs. May clean our hearts and fill our souls with good and joyful things. Amen.
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 But it's good to see all of you. It's a wonderful time. I'm going now to just flip through the screen. I'm going to invite Dwayne Swaby. How you doing, my friend? I'm sure there's some guests you'd wish to introduce this afternoon, Dwayne. So let's go ahead. Let's introduce your guests this afternoon.
The only guests I have today, Darren, are in
Dwayne, come on, Dwayne. Come on, Dwayne. Come on, Dwayne. Come on, Dwayne. That sounds like $5. Go ahead, though.
I'll wire my $5 this afternoon.
The bank charge is more than $5 on a $5 transfer. I got to speak to people like past President Raquel on that bank transfer fee, But go ahead, Dwayne.
That's it. I'll transfer the funds, and my good friend Raquel will make sure I do it the right way.
Right.
So it gets to RCN.
Right. So you're introducing this afternoon? Go ahead, Dwayne. Who's the guest you're introducing this afternoon?
Oh, I have no guest today, Darren. I'm sorry.
Right. No problem. Okay, let me just flip through right here real quickly. Have I missed any other guests? Mr. President, do you have any guests you'd wish to introduce this afternoon before I go ahead and start stealing guests?
No, not at the moment. I think we have a good group here of committed people I see on today. So it's good that I could see, whether it's 20, 10, 30 sometimes. It's good to see the folks here.
No, this meeting promises to be a very exciting one. When I would have seen the flyer come out and having highlighted who his guest speaker is going to be, I said to myself, this is going to be an extremely exciting meeting. And even before the guest speaker was on, I think one of the persons whom he coaches came on and was having a wonderful conversation with Nadia. So this promises to be a very exciting meeting. Now let's look and see if there are any other visiting Rotarians on who we don't have a chance to introduce. Any visiting Rotarians this afternoon want to introduce yourselves very quickly? I don't see anyone in case I would have missed anybody. No, I don't think I missed anybody. So I take this time to welcome all of you this afternoon. Matisse, good to see you.
Good to see you also.
Right. Wonderful. This is going to be a wonderful time at 1 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon. And so there we have it, Nadia. I think we've introduced all of our guests. We've introduced all of the Rotarians. Jamal is pretending to be very hard at work. Jamal, how you doing, my friend? Unmute your mic, Jamal.
Hey, Darren. Good to be here with you all today. Yes, I'm trying. I'm under the weather. More relaxing afternoon, doing some conveyancing work as I fellowship with you all in Rotary.
Sounds like you need that shot, Jamal. You need that shot. You're under the weather, Jamal. You need that shot, Jamal
waiting on the second shot.
Well, Jamal, they said people over 50 could get it now, so you're eligible.
Yeah, Darren. You too, my friend. You too.
Yes, sir. I once it came around to the over 18, I was qualified. Okay, so back to you. I see Donnelly is all masked up in the office. Donnelly, you have some guests in your office, eh?
It must be.
If you by yourself, you don't have to wear the mask,
You ain't taking no chances.
You ain't taking no chances, eh?
Chances. Why do you want to see all of my face?
Because you're a beautiful young woman.
I know, but I keep it reserved.
Okay. I ain't getting to know one. Back to you, Felia.
Okay, so now we will have Rotarian Rakira giving us our Rotary moments on maternal and child care.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians.
Good afternoon, Rakira.
Good afternoon.
Every day Every day, mothers risk their lives giving birth, and millions of children die each year from treatable, preventable causes. Maternal and child health care is one of the Rotary's 7 areas of focus. This means that there are global grants available for clubs to do projects in this area to expand quality care, so mothers and children everywhere can have the same opportunities for a healthy future. An estimated 5.9 million children under the age of 5 die each year because of malnutrition, inadequate health care, and poor sanitation, all of which can be prevented. This ends the Rotary Moment.
Awesome, awesome. Good job, Rakira. President Stephen, I
Thank
think
you.
you have some remarks for us.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon to our club members and everyone. I don't think no visitor has popped in as yet. First of all, I just want to say how do I appreciate each and every one of you for your support. People support in different ways. People support in presence. People support in just by in their spirit. People support in different ways. So I want to thank you. So you know which one of them categories you fall underneath you. So I always want to give you thanks for, you know, and I think we have came a long way as a club. When we look, you know, the president moved on, and so it's almost that time. I ain't going nowhere, but it's almost that time. But I'm just saying to you, I really want to thank. Without a good club and supporting members, supporting kiosks, nothing would have happened. So at the end of the day, it's not about the president. The president could be on his own, but without a club, ain't nothing happening. So everybody chipped in. You know, you might have not chipped in consistently, but the fact that you are part, the fact that you are a member, the fact that whatever you did, everybody have various roles, and you know, and some persons might have chipped in by building the club before I came in. Thanks for the foundation. When I looked at the past presidents like Raquel, Sheila, all of Larry, Dwayne, Joan, I'm missing nobody, Jim, all the stalwarts I see here, Donnelly.
Hey, don't forget me now.
Huh? I can't forget a Fox Hill man, you know, because you're too close to that place. I can't forget you. And Jamal, I just
I know I'm the youngest of the bunch, but
oh yeah? Yeah, because you just talking, but you just turned 18 or just got over 18. So I might have, yeah, I could have had reason to miss you. Yes.
No, he's over 50.
what was that for Nia?
Nothing.
No comment.
Yeah, that's taking off the records. That's taking off the record, Jamal. Okay. Okay, great. But what I want to say, what I'm coming back to, all seriousness, I want to thank all those builders who build the wall, who build the block, who laid some blocks ahead, all of Robin and all of our stalwarts who are here today. So I really want to thank you for your support each day, the support each day. You know, being the president is an exciting job, it's a tedious job, but you know, but it's a good job. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Service. And so all of you who continue to give service in your own way. Mark, who's a stalwart in this club, Mark, we thank you for your presence. Yes, your presence makes me feel good. Makes me feel good. All of you who are here today. So thank you, and all the beautiful smiles. I see people get some still shots of smiles. So, but you know, I can accept them too. You know. So, and then we want to welcome also our incoming president, President-elect Mike. You know. Then we got Chantel, the incoming secretary, secretary.
Yes,
So
secretary.
when I look at this club, the future is great. The future is great. I feel good about what is happening and the person who are coming in, the new board members who are coming in. So the future is great, and that we continues. This club is continuous. Rotary was here before many of us, some of us were born. And so some of us might leave it here. So it is what it is. So we just come to chip in our part and do our part. Thank you everybody for your support, and particularly our board members. But as we move ahead, nothing of major. What is happening now, and particularly in the life of the president, he's wrapping up. We talked with some Rotary awards, so we're just finalizing all the things he's done all year. We have to see if this club has qualified for to receive some awards. So we are working around the clock with that to make sure that this club everything balanced out, looks great, that it looks great, and we reap some rewards, looking good. So I feel good about where we are, and so we're in a good place. So you won't be disappointed for the work that you have done. You will not be, nobody will be disappointed, as a matter of fact. No one will be disappointed. So we want to thank those persons who continue to volunteer their time, some to go to the vaccination site, and who continue to volunteer, whatever which way you volunteer. So that we appreciate that. And before I move on, Joan, anything of importance you want to say?
Well, perhaps a reminder or some information about the district conference. You know, we don't have to be going anywhere except your living room this time, so there's really no excuse about you not going. I don't think we've had the particular details yet of how to register, but as soon as we see it, we would like you to register, because President Stephen's talking about the awards. There will be a section there where they will be giving out the awards, so you really don't want to miss that to see what we get. So please look, I think it's going to be 2 mornings, the 29th of May and the 5th of June. So it's really not going to be taking too much time out of your schedule, and you don't have to pay money to attend and so on. And give you a taste for next year when it's in person down in St. Martin's, which is always exciting to get to go to the islands. Thank you.
All right, President Joan, just a question in regards to the conference as it's going to be in your living room. Is there a dress code?
I don't think so. No, I haven't heard. I'm sure just.
Darren, I think you better establish a dress code. I think that's a good point you brought up, Darren.
I just putting it out there, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, Vice President Larry, any dress code?
I have my pajamas on.
and a junkanoo piece, you know?
And a junkanoo piece, right.
But just keep sitting down all day, though. All right? All right, good. That sounds good. I don't think Sonia is on today. But other than that, we are pretty good. Yes, the conference is coming up, and we'll ask everybody to register. They're just trying to get the right official site of that conference, and so they want to. You should see something coming out very shortly that you register for the conference. Also, on Thursday at 6:30, there's a training for new and prospective members. Rotary, the district, is having a training. So we ask all, particularly our new members and our members, it's a refresher. It's going to be held on Thursday. I will send you the link I'll send the information very shortly to you so that you can get involved in the training. And we employ, I know Chantel sent out some information about training, and particularly our new members. There are a lot of training sites. There are a lot of training in Rotary. Some of them are only 15 minutes. Some of them are 20 minutes. Some are 2 hours. You can go and take advantage of these training and get your certificate. Once you do the training, log on, get your training, please send a certificate in. It's good to get one of those certificates underneath your belt. It wouldn't take long to just do the training. There's a lot of information that's being shared, but it's good, particularly our new members. I implore each and every one of you to take advantage of that this week to go on the Rotary site. If you have any difficulty, call Chantel or Sheila. They can guide you through in getting on and getting sorted for that. So thank you very much. But keep paying attention to our chat group. So any adjoining information that needs to come out, you will definitely get it. So I really want to thank you for everything, and thanks a lot. Felia, is back over to you.
I do have an announcement if I could.
Oh, I apologize, Jamal. You can go in.
Yes. Well, what it is, just by way of information only, our club has been petitioned by a charitable organization called Leah's Hopes and Dreams. And they had indicated that they are putting on a breakfast on Saturday coming, and they're asking our club to donate. I think we have a petition before the board for approval, but just by way of information, I wanted to share that, but obviously it's subject to board's approval, where this organization that also has membership of one of our own in the name of Francina, are putting on a breakfast for the homeless and the needy So, you know, I just want to put in a plug there for that as well, to our board for its consideration of that. And, you know, if there's somehow that we can participate, then certainly I will send some information out to the club throughout the course of this week once we get board approval. So just please stay tuned for that, whichever's decided. Thank you.
Jamal, just a question. The raffle that was done last week, did we get to deliver that prize yet?
No, we still have it here. Can we make contact with the winner? And then we can, either they can come to us or we can go to that person.
Okay, all right.
All right, so you let us know once you make contact with them, we can either get it to them or they can come to us.
All righty, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Jamal, thank you for that input, but I know you have to do some things with the board too, right? That's mean your joke.
I just did.
That's mean your joke. Okay, no, but something else I want to add that I omitted. We were approached by the AIDS Foundation of the Bahamas. They had an issue with some of the children. They were not able to access their accounts, for different reasons, and I wouldn't go into too much details, that they needed some assistance in paying some of their internet bills from between cable and the live, and along that, they had approached the club for a donation. And what is so good about it, we didn't have to go into our club funds. We had a private donor who paid, this is what, for five families. They have paid all the internet bills for them, and that has been taken good care of. So some great things continue to happen for this club, and some good things continue to happen. So people continue to smile on us, and this is all because people continue to see the great work that we are doing, the work that we are doing. So people are approaching, and if someone approaches me, I get to tell them, while you're talking about the good thing Rotary is doing, this is how you can help. That's the little piece I put on there. I used that opportunity for that. And most times they responded and said, this is how we can help. So that was an opportunity right there. We didn't have to go touch our funds. So we that was a good thing for us. I mean, the AIDS Foundation said they want to take a photo shot, but I'm not sure. That's up in the air with that, I might just allow them to pay the bills and leave it alone, but we'll see how it goes. If anything, I will just put a note out for those who need to take a photo, who need to be present. Thank you. Back to you, Nadia.
Okay, hi. So now we'll have Rotarian Jonathan who will come to introduce our speaker. Jonathan?
Good afternoon, Rotarians. It's my honor today to introduce to you Mr. Gilbert Williams. Mr. Gilbert Williams joined Special Olympics Bahamas in 2010 as a soccer coach, then assistant with the bowling program. He was appointed as the sports and training director in 2014 and later appointed as the first full-time national director in 2016. Mr. Williams is a retired insurance executive with an extensive background in community involvement. He holds certificates in principles of coaching, unified sports training, and games management training for Special Olympics. He also has Leadership 1 and 2 certificates for the Special Olympics Leadership Academy. Today, in keeping with the April Rotary theme of maternal and child health, please join me in welcoming Mr. Gilbert Williams to discuss the role sports plays in the life of a Special Olympics athlete.
Good afternoon, and thank you for inviting Special Olympics Bahamas into your meeting this afternoon to share a little bit about our program. I know we have a limited time to talk about an organization and sports in the life of athletes, and so what I have done is asked one of our long-serving athletes and members to be a part of the presentation, and I will allow her to introduce herself and get right into her presentation. So without any further ado, Ms. Links, you are up.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anita Moncur, aka Lynx. I have been a part of. I have been an athlete for Special Olympics for a long time, 37 years.
Wow.
You know, I look only 20 years old. I am also an assistant bocce coach and an international ambassador. Through my involvement with Special Olympics Bahamas, I have been able to make many new friends, some with intellectual disabilities and some without. Some of the sports I trained and competed in include track and field, basketball, bocce, bowling, equestrian, soccer, tennis, and swimming.
Wow.
Playing sports has allowed me to stay fit and healthy. It has also given me the opportunity to travel to places such as Jamaica, Ireland, Greece, Abu Dhabi, North Carolina, and Louisiana, just to name a few. One of my recent highlights is receiving the gold medal in singles competition in bowling at the Special Olympics World Games in Abu Dhabi 2019. I did it with the help of my coaches. I was able to show the world that I was available to show the world that I had truly earned the right to play on any playing field. What a awesome feeling! As long as I can roll a bowling ball and be an assistant bocce coach, sports will always be a major part of my life. Let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt.
Okay, thank you, Anita, for that presentation, for being a part of the presentation. And I will just continue on just to share with you a little bit more about what sports means in the life of Special Olympics athletes. And I will start with our mission statement, which basically, and I will just say that the mission statement for Special Olympics programs all around the world, it is a global mission statement. And the mission of Special Olympics is to provide athletic training, year-round athletic training and competition in a variety of Olympic-type sports for children and adults with intellectual disabilities, giving them continuous opportunities to develop physical fitness, demonstrate courage, experience joy, and to participate in sharing of gifts and skills with their families, other Special Olympics athletes, and the community. And so as you can see from our mission statement, while the focus in most cases is primarily on the training and competition aspect of it, and this is where essentially athletes get all of their joy. The organization is so much more than that, but today we focus on the role that sports play in the life of these athletes. And as you have just heard from one of our long-serving athletes, probably our longest serving athlete that is still currently involved with the program, in a nutshell, sports is everything. Sports is not just their world, it's their life. We have athletes, as Anita has indicated, that have traveled the world just because of their involvement in sports, and in particular with Special Olympics Bahamas. I can remember my first World Games in 2011 in Greece, where I attended as a bowling coach. And I thought the Bahamas team was really making some noise and participating in an exciting situation and turn of events. And about 2 lanes over, there was this, screaming and loud carrying on, as we would say. And as I paid close attention to it, there was a young lady there, an athlete, and I believe she was from Ireland. I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention. I said to myself, to be the coach of an athlete that displays that type of an attitude, that type of a sportsmanship, that type of a spirit, just because she has rolled her personal best, forget whether she would have won a medal or anything like that. She understood that she gave it her best, and the excitement and the attitude that came from her, it really was something to see. And then in another situation here home, a couple of years ago, I was invited to assist at the Stapleton School in organizing their sports day. And we had invited the special needs units from several of the schools around Nassau, H.O. Nash, D.W. Davis, and Anatole Rogers. And so their units came along with the Stapleton School. And I remember we were just about to do a race, and this was with the wheelchair athletes. So there were a few athletes that, in addition to their intellectual disabilities, they actually had some issues, had different levels of issues with their lower limbs. And so some of them were confined to wheelchairs. And they had a wheelchair race. It wasn't more than about 20, 25 meters. And as they rolled down that little strip, the crowd was cheering, everybody was making noise, the excitement was building. And I remember at the end of the race, one of the athletes, she was excited. She was overwhelmed with joy, which is a part of our mission statement. And I remember one of the teachers from Special Olympics from Stapleton School saying, boy, winning that gold medal must really mean a lot to her. And I leaned over to the teacher and I said, but she didn't win the gold. She got a bronze medal. She came third. And the teacher was even that more ecstatic about it, because I know most of you would have, if not all of you, would recall our Golden Girls on the track after they won that 4x1 medal in Sydney. And I can tell you, the excitement that this little girl displayed because of her bronze medal effort, what our Golden Girls showed that day, and I take nothing away from them, was a joke compared to what this little girl was feeling and was sharing. And there wasn't trophies at the end of the day. There weren't medals. There were ribbons. And when they pinned that third place ribbon on her, you really had to be there to understand what sports means in the life of these athletes. It's truly inexplicable. And my only regret that day was I didn't have a video camera to tape that event, because, like I said, to explain that, words just doesn't do it justice. So they're just a few examples of some situations where sports really, really showed what our athletes are capable of, what athletes with intellectual disabilities are capable of. And the fact that coaching these athletes, I can tell you, is a coach's dream, simply because if any of you have ever coached before or have been coached in any sport before, you know, one of the things that a coach is always push for is to get the best out of any athlete. And I can tell you that Special Olympics athletes, they give you 100%. And if there is such a thing as 101%, then that's what they give, because they leave nothing out there. They leave everything, out there on the playing field. They give it their all. And there's nothing more that coaches like to know that the athletes that they have coached, that they are coaching, have given everything that they have to offer. Just a couple more points before I wrap up. And that is that, again, you heard Anita talk about her experiences. And I can tell you, whether athletes are competing locally or on the islands where we have programs, or here in Nassau, or whether it's a national competition where all of the islands get together, or even, and in particular, when they get to travel for regional or international competition, especially for our World Games, which is the biggest stage in the life of Special Olympics, Special Olympic Summer Games. I can tell you, being on the track or on the basketball court, on the bowling lanes, with hundreds and in some cases thousands of cheering fans cheering for you. They don't even know you, never seen you before. Our athletes have never experienced that type of stuff before. I can tell you the feeling, even as a coach, you get goosebumps running all up and down your arm. And so I can only imagine what our athletes are feeling. And then to get up on the stage, as Anita would have done in Abu Dhabi, after they've given out all of the awards and they've called for the bronze medalists, and they step up to the podium, and then the silver medalist. And then when they announce that the gold medal winner is Anita Moncur from the Bahamas, I mean, if you're not there, it's difficult to understand. And so when we talk about what sports means in the life of an athlete, a Special Olympics athlete, most of our training locally takes place once a week. Most of the training. Obviously, we have not trained in over a year now. We're hoping to get back to the training field this Saturday coming with one of our sports. But most of our events are weekly. Our training is weekly. And for our athletes, for many of our athletes, I should say, that is their one social outing for the week. That is the one opportunity that they get for the week to be amongst their peers, where they can show up and be themselves. Have a conversation and have somebody conversate with them, as opposed to, like in a number of cases, just being shut away at home, sat in front of a TV, whatever happens during the course of the day. Nobody's having a meaningful conversation. And so that's what these athletes look forward to. I can tell you the number of calls that I have gotten over the last year, but particularly in recent times, from athletes saying, listen, coach, when we can get back to the field, I miss my friends. They've even sent voice messages in the group. Just one came through last night, this guy, and he's listen, I'm ready to get back on the track. What's happening? When are we going to start? I miss you guys. That sums it all up in terms of what sports means to these athletes. It's everything to them, and it means everything. Some of our athletes, when we traveled, let alone that being the first time they had traveled internationally, that was the first time one or two of them had ever sat in an airplane. So think about it. Sports, in a lot of cases, take a backseat for a whole lot of people. But for Special Olympics athletes in particular, sports is everything. I hope I've been able to share just a little bit of what our athletes go through, of what sports means to our athlete. And between Anita and myself, if you have any questions, we'll try our best to answer them for you. So thank you for your attention. And again, thank you for allowing Special Olympics Bahamas to share just a little bit of what we do here in the Bahamas.
Thank you so much, Gilbert. Thank you so much, Anita. I could say that before we open the floor to questions, I have a question. So worked with Special Olympics before. This was before Gilbert would have joined. And I worked with many years as a volunteer with the women's basketball team. And look at me, who didn't know much about basketball, but I wanted to support. And I found that athletes like Anita and others helped me to learn a lot more about the discipline, but a lot more about what their world was like. It gave me a glimpse of, their outlook and the type of support that they needed. And it's not just, as Gilbert said, the athleticism, but there's support mentally, emotionally. You're providing structure, you're providing discipline, excitement, exposure, camaraderie, all of these things. And so I want to commend you on the work that you do and continue to do with Special Olympics Bahamas and with Anita, who went by Delta before she changed it to Lynx, the nickname. So the question that I have is that—
Delta's still my nickname, Nadia.
Delta, okay, we could go with that. All right, good. So the question that I have is, yes, I know we're in the middle of a pandemic and we're hoping that things get better. What are some ways that you would like to see support from the local community to help Special Olympics get to where you would like it to go?
That's a loaded question, but I will tell you that there's a whole lot. I mean, from we say we have 2 pillars in Special Olympics. One is volunteers and one is funding. Without volunteers, the program is nothing. And as you said before, you've been a volunteer before, so you know the commitment and the dedication. And unfortunately, that while there are a number of persons in the community who, and I believe that in their heart, they would like to volunteer, I think they underestimate the commitment that it takes. And so, from time to time, we have people that would show up for a week or 2, and then after that, they start to fade off. And that's not good for the athletes. They need consistency. And so volunteers, whether it's as a volunteer coach, whether it's volunteer with a lot of administrative type stuff, we now on social media, and so just keeping up with our social media postings is not easy. So we need volunteers in almost any aspect that any business would need employees. And then the other pillar, like I said, is funding. Funding is major. Without the funds, we can do nothing. From what may seem as simple as providing T-shirts, as an example, for all of our athletes, for our coaches, something like that. Obviously, we need assistance with. When it's time to just hold competitions, whether it's local competitions, international, whether we travel into international competitions, all that comes along with cost. I just earlier today, for example, picked up a number of the thermometer guns and some single-use masks that I chose to order from away because of the cost, even though I would have liked to put the funds into our local economy. And these are necessary items now, additional necessary items that we need for our training sessions. And so just I tell people $10 purchases a case of water. And you would know, Nadia, from just coaching basketball, just the running up and down at the end of the day, we can easily go through a couple of cases of water for each sport. So when you multiply that by 3 on most Saturdays. So, I mean, funding and volunteers are the 2 main things. Awareness comes the more we get out there, and the more we can push our athletes to the forefront. That's where the awareness comes in. And unfortunately, you can't, awareness can't be donated. That's something that you just have to build from your activity. So the volunteerism, the funding, that helps with the awareness. And essentially, that's really what our program needs.
Another question for you. So if somebody wants their child or a friend of the family, they want to have an athlete join Special Olympics Bahamas, what's the process?
Okay, we have an athlete registration form, which consists of a medical exam as well. And there are a couple of release forms. One basically saying, listen, I'm aware that participation in sports can be dangerous, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. Once they've completed those, and in particular, we've looked through the medical and everything is fine. There's nothing from the doctor or from a medical perspective that's preventing them from participating in sports. And then pretty much they're good to go. There is, as a mandate of Special Olympics International, Special Olympics is no cost to athletes. And so there's no registration fee, there's no membership fee. The t-shirts that you see them wear, which is basically for identification and awareness, that's all free of charge to them. And so this is one of the reasons why, again, our costs are up. Transportation, in most cases, we try to provide bus transportation, but we, particularly now, as a part of our return to activity, we're asking parents to transport their children, their athletes, to any training sessions. But essentially, that's the process. Very simple, very straightforward, no hassle, and no cost.
Thank you.
Brother Gilbert, how are you, sir?
Yes.
Okay. I need you to do a clarification. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that Nadia says she's a basketball coach. Can you just verify that for me?
Okay, I will confirm that yes, Nadia used to be one of our volunteer basketball coaches. Now she coached Anita. So if you want any more details, I'm gonna point you in the direction of Anita.
Okay. Look at the results. Look at that.
Yeah.
Some athlete.
Okay. What? Okay. Thank you, Brother Gilbert. I know we did some work. You did some work with us when I was in another organization, and I thought that was pretty commendable. What y'all do. I work with Special Olympics. From a perspective on our club, maybe you can come back to us and tell us how you see us partnering with Special Olympics, some things that we can do to assist,
Okay. Right now, or you want me to send you something written?
Well, you can send it through. You can send it through Nadia. Do y'all still do I know y'all not able to do. I know there was to be a law enforcement run, so I don't think that is happening right now, right?
I doubt it. We're still planning. For the last 4 years, we had introduced a major fundraising event for us. It was a law enforcement torch run, a grill out, and family fun day. And we added a raffle element to it as well. Well, this year, we definitely won't have the fun day and the grill out. But plans for our raffle are well underway. In fact, I plan to go to the printers on Thursday with finalization of prizes. And so, yes, I mean, there's just so many ways to assist. Donations. Once the tickets are printed, hopefully you guys can, what I see, I don't know, maybe 30 some people on here today. If you get, 30 members there, maybe a member grab a book, so we could send you 30 books and you send us back the funds and the ticket stubs, that sort of stuff. So there's a whole heap of stuff, whole heap of ways that any organization, and particularly Rotary, can step in and assist the program.
But what are the athletes actually doing now?
I should let Anita answer that, but we have asked that we've sent a lot of exercise videos to them over the past year. Ask them or encourage them to do some exercising at home. I don't know if all of them have really been doing it or doing it consistently. And so one of the other things that we've been doing, we have what we call a global messenger training initiative, which teaches our athletes to get involved in public speaking. Hence, you have Anita able to join a forum like this and give a presentation. Yeah. She's a part of the Global Messenger Training Program. So we've been conducting those trainings virtually. And then we've had, we formed a quiz night. And so we had on a regular basis, athletes joining in, participating in quiz about, particularly about the Bahamas, about sports, and about Special Olympics in general. And so those are some of the things we've been doing to engage some of them and help to keep their mind sharp. Unfortunately, just like the, I guess the rest of the population, a lot of our athletes don't have access to these devices. And even when they do, they don't have access to internet connection. And so we're not reaching all of our athletes. And, you know, it's unfortunate because while we've tried our best to be in touch with most of them, there's certainly some of them that we have not heard from since March of last year. And that is extremely unfortunate.
Wow.
All right. So Gilbert, I think the only thing that we'll ask of you now is if you can kindly put your contacts in the chat so that we can reach out to you as it relates to further initiatives or volunteering opportunities, or just to find out more information about Special Olympics Bahamas. If you could kindly do that.
Okay, no problem there.
And thank you so much. So I'm going to turn it over to Darren to thank our speaker.
Thank you very much, Nadia. Mr. Williams and Anita / Links or Delta. Let me say to you both that this has been a very, very informative session. It has been a very heartwarming session, and it has certainly challenged me in terms of what you would have presented today. Mr. Williams, even in your presentation as you spoke, and though we were not there to physically visualize the athletes receiving the various awards, in my mind's eye, I went there with you and was able to visualize it. And that resonated with me in terms of the level of commitment that yourself and the leader have demonstrated to the program. And so I want to say on behalf of President Stephen Dean and all of the members and directors of our club, thank you so much for your continued effort. Thank you so much for sharing with us today. And I want to say to you that our president is indeed a man of action. Our club is in the club of action. And your presentation today has no doubt struck a chord with us, and you will no doubt feel us in a much more tangible way. So again, thank you very much, Mr. Williams, and of course to Links / Delta for your wonderful presentation today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
All righty. And so before we move on to our four-way task, of course, we cannot move on without recognizing our visitor here who snuck in, our visiting Rotarian, President Lionel Haven. Would you like to unmute and say a word or two?
He must say something.
Thank you for calling me out, President Stephen. I appreciate it. No, I'm just happy to join with you. This is probably about the 6th or 7th time that I've attended your meetings. It's always a joy to get around and share fellowship with fellow Rotarians. I always enjoy the atmosphere in your meetings as well. And Gilbert is a personal friend of mine. So I was very happy to see that he was speaking today, and I definitely had to stick my head in and hear what he had to say. Thank you for having me.
No problem. You are welcome, welcome, welcome in this place. That's what the hymn says, I think. All right. So
what about PAG Larry, our Olympics guy? Hasn't he got anything to say?
Yes.
Yes. Certainly with the Special Olympics and the times that we've had and traveled with the Special Olympics, especially the ones coming after the Olympic Games, it was always a pleasure and always good to work with them. I'm so glad to see the people now who are doing the coaching and carrying on from where we were and doing even greater things. Thank you all for the effort you are making to help with the Special Olympics and with our special needs athletes. They're the ones that we want for the special Bahamas, special needs, special things, and special greatness through our athletes. Thank you.
Larry, PhD Larry, before you go, I think you're doing a disservice to all of us. Tell us who you are. Tell us what role you played. I think that's important, because some of us looking at saying, so who Larry? What he can do in sports? You know.
Well, I was a sports administrator, sports leader in a number of ways over the years. President of basketball, of volleyball. I was in the Olympic Association for over 35 years, serving as vice president and as secretary and that sort of thing. But the main thing is that in many of the Olympics, or at least 7 or 8 Olympics, I was the organizer and the Bahamian representative leader at the Olympic Games, and places where we did such great things like Athens and Rome. Wow. And they were the great days, and I'm glad to see the young people coming in and doing even better. Thank you.
So Larry, before you go, I think it was you who denied me for not making the Olympic teams then.
That's right. No. You were too good, you see.
Tell them, Larry, you got to say it a couple more times.
Right, with that being said, we're going to head on over to our 4-way test. Okay, so of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth?
Yes, is it true?
Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build
goodwill and better friendships?
Will it be beneficial
to all concerned?
And of course, will it
be fun?
It will be.
Back to you, President Stephen.
No, there's another rule before me.
Why do I keep forgetting? I'm so sorry. And how could I forget Miss Donnelly?
That's what basketball coaches do sometimes, you know.
I was too willing to pass. See, I wanted to share. I wanted to pass the ball. Okay. Donnelly is going to come now with our Rotary toast.
Thank you. You're welcome. To all our Rotarians who are here, along with those Rotarians who are there, let us all join Rotarians everywhere in a toast to Rotary around the world.
Rotary
around the world.
Thank you very much, Donnelly. You remind me when I was in Sunday school, you know, when you had to say those recitations, you know.
And I do my bow.
Oh, that's good. And you have to bow.
Yes.
Thank you. We really appreciate you for being Lionel, you and your team, and for just being. It's Gilbert, brother Gilbert. We thank you for everything. We thank you for your support. We thank wonderful presentation, heartwarming. You'll hear from us in a good way from this club. We want to support Special Olympics. We want to participate. We hope things open up so we can really participate. It's good that you didn't just come by yourself. You brought someone there who's a testament, an absolute example of what happens when you work with these type of persons. So that's the kind of thing we love. We love that. Heartwarming presentation. Very appreciate that.
We appreciate it, and we appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, so, you know, I hope I can't do the law enforcement run no more, but, you know, when you get back, I'll be running, you know. But ladies and gentlemen, we really want to thank you for a wonderful meeting. For Leah, who started off the first end, and so we were already started the training, then she passed the baton on to Nadia. And Nadia, you came right in because I know you wanted to showcase this basketball. What it would have been good, Nadia, if you had a photograph in the back with you bouncing the ball, coaching the team. You know, I love to see. I'd like you to validate what you're saying. You know.
I'll dig up for it. I'll find it.
Yeah. So that is great. All those who participated in the meeting, President Lionel. You know, it's always good for you to come and join us. You know, and add some little relish to the meeting. You know, so we appreciate what you're doing.